Boom. Man, the myth, the legend that is Karl, the absolute hero, operator, chef, my man. So we're going to go into a bit of kind of talk about your journey, but how would you introduce yourself to anyone who doesn't know who you are, Karl? How would you describe you, my man?
So I'm a military person. I'm one of the chefs that work down in Colchester at the minute. Um, I've been in the army now for 4 years.
Awesome.
Enjoy it pretty much, and plan on carrying on for quite a while. So
For sure,
see
for
what
sure. You've
goes.
got a long career ahead, which is good. We talked about that a few times actually, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So, how would you describe sort of, you've been in the program now for 12 months. A lot of that, obviously, we won't go into the logistics of the deployment because obviously OPSEC and those types of things, but you've been obviously deployed for quite a lot of that, which has actually been really cool because we've still been able to, keep progress, loads of stuff that's been really good. But on that note, dude, like what was life like before the program? So looking at kind of 2020, 2019, even maybe a bit further than that, what was life like for you, Karl, before the Warriors?
So before joining the Warriors, I didn't have much of a routine. I used to eat 1 to 2 meals a day, so not ideal. Kind of lost body image and lost kind of a picture in my head where I wanted to be happy.
Yeah.
And that's when I kind of looked at something and went, well, actually, no, I need to change this and go down a different route.
Yeah, I think like when we kind of talked about it, there were so many things. It was like, when you pass that training and you go into the wider world of units, and even like a lot of lads probably, they probably, normal guys who aren't in the military, because we don't just coach lads in the military, probably consider that as when they leave school and they go into like the normal world. It's kind of that loss of exactly what to do, isn't it? And do you remember what your confidence was, on a scale of 1 to 10 about a year ago? Do you remember where you were kind of at with that? I've got it.
I want to say I turned around and said my confidence around that time was probably about 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, literally you were sort of like sitting at like body image and confidence about 2, and it was the structure and clarity that was the main thing, I think, wasn't it? You just weren't sure. Like you say, when you're in the wider world of unit life, is what to really do. And I think there's some support maybe not specific for yourself, and a lot of lads, as I say, will probably relate to that when they come out of school or rugby club and they go into on their own. And looking at that, dude, like we talked through everything. We went through quite a deep conversation, and like you say, you kind of we had a bit of chat about it, and we put together like a really structured plan. I know you're a very good friend of actually one of my previous clients, Sam Booth, and he absolutely smashed the course, and he loved it, and you sort of looked at the same and went, I want to do that. And what was the reality the day that you first joined? What was it like, Karl? Obviously it's a bit nerve-wracking. A lot of the lads today have said it's like kicking down a door and you're a bit scared at what's behind it, but what was the reality for you, buddy?
So the reality behind it was to initially get the structure in place. So it was kind of just, as you've already said, smashing down a door, kind of setting that kind of preliminary setup to get smashing everything ahead, whether it be setting up a correct plan for a diet, the workouts, getting your mindset correct when thinking about going to sleep and stuff like that.
Yeah, perfect. And like you say, it's just about getting that first initial rhythm of everything, isn't it? Because there's so much stuff out there, isn't there, man? Like there's so much stuff on Google or like just fucking in general. There's so many things you could do that it's like, where do I even start? And obviously that was a reality for you. And what's it been like? Let's kind of cover it in 4 stages. So that first 90 days before you sort of deployed and you'd gone away, and the education and stuff. What's it been like with the plan, education, accountability, community support, and everything we've gone through? What was it like in those first 90 days for you, Karl? How did you find it?
So I found it really good. So if you had it, or multiple point, if I had any issues, I was able to go onto the group chat where all the guys were and drop it into the group chat. On top of that, if there was anything specific I needed, I'd get hold of yourself.
Yeah.
And pretty much just smash everything I need to get smashed.
Perfect. And having that kind of structure and that roadmap, finally, like you got into the gym and it's been awesome to watch you just fucking tear things apart. Like how good was that to just have pure clarity about what you're doing?
Absolutely amazing. So having the videos there to turn around and guide me with the structured positions and stuff like that for the weights, something totally different that I've not actually done properly. We were taught in PT, but again, it's a massive group, so it's not kind of one-to-one training.
Yeah, perfect. And alongside that, like you said, like the support element, I found really, really good, especially with yourself. We've had quite a lot of banter between different elements in you and the guys, which has been really cool. And looking at that as well, mate, the education side of things, how's that helped you? You know, the, like you say, the talks on sleep, on behavior change, on, mate, I couldn't even list them. It would take me 20 minutes just to list everything that we go through. But like, how's that benefited you, all the education that we deliver, Karl? How's that benefited?
So the education's benefited in many ways. So sleep, trying to get 8 hours, is a major one. It's definitely been worthwhile to learn along the process different things. Nutrition, although I'm a chef, I know the nutrition, it kind of just helps refresh.
Yeah, and really understand it. And a lot of the mindset stuff, I think you've really enjoyed, haven't you? Like I remember, oh fucking hell, there's so many. Do you remember like Mandy St. Clair on self-sabotage? I remember you came to that lecture, was really good. And then, you know, people like Katie Parrott, I remember you've kind of, you sat in with those. How have you found that's helped you improve mentally, that kind of understanding of it all?
So I've been able to take away notes after the meetings and then kind of work on them points for myself. So things that I self-highlight.
Yeah.
And once I've self-highlighted it, and then work on the point.
Perfect. That's awesome. And like you say, that's literally what we want to do, is learn and action it. It's not just like taking notes, it's going and running with it. And looking at all of this, dude, like you say, you were at the start of the year at sort of a confidence 3, you know, sitting at sort of confidence 2. Where's your confidence now, Karl, after sort of, you know, 12-month period? Where are you?
Maxed out.
Maxed out. That's it. 100%. You can't fuck it. That's it. We're absolute toppers. Man, that's brilliant. I love that. And like 10 out of 10. So would you say you've gone from kind of start of the year confidence 2 to like 10 out of 10 now?
Yeah.
Boom. Yes, my man. There we go. And obviously, like we've been in the gym. We've got clarity about what we're doing. You've got fucking full education and everything, which has been brilliant. And obviously, the combination of the year is obviously we've got the main man himself, Ollie Otton, coming in on Thursday. How do you find it, you know, being part of this community, this brotherhood, and everything? Like, how do you find it all? Like, what's your kind of, how would you describe it, the last 12 months of what you've gone through?
I'd say it's exhilarating. So just to be part of the team, you've got support around you at all times if you really need it. Personally, myself, I'm not actually need it too much.
Yeah.
But again, just the support bubble kind of works really well, especially in the climate we're in with COVID and stuff like that. Alternative methods of doing stuff. Even though other people can't do things, there are certain other bits that everyone else can do.
Awesome. And I think it's kind of like you say, it's always knocking you in the right direction. And it's, you know, you might not need it all the time. I think especially in your position now, where you've got into a really strong headset, it's just about kind of keeping you in the ship steering to where it wants to go, and, you know, keeping you on target for that higher purpose of, you know, self-improvement, which is really cool. And any of the guys who are, you know, this will go out in January, dude. So any of the lads who are kind of looking at the program and they're thinking, oh, should I join? Should I not join? You know, you're thinking about you this year, but January. What would you say to them if they're considering it and they're thinking about it? What would you say to them about it, Karl?
It's one of the best decisions I've ever made. So it's 100% worthwhile because you get everything you need kind of handed to you on a silver platter. It's all there and you literally just go with it. Wow. You're given day-to-day workouts and you literally just have to smash them workouts. Obviously, meet the nutrition, meet the criteria, and just work with it.
Me and you work very well together, because every week I just go, yep, boom, green, perfect, Karl, good effort, mate. Like, it's not like a, oh, come on, let's do this. It's like, right, I've smashed that, boom, 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 boom. Yep, that's all good. Especially on ship, like, you know, when you're on ship, it was like, oh, well, I'm going on ship in 2 weeks. Right, here's your home workouts. I won't be able to speak to you for 2 weeks, but it's all good. Hammer them, like, make them happen. That was brilliant. And looking at that, dude, like, would you say, like you say, one of the best decisions you've ever made, but would you say that the last 12 months would you say it's changed your life, Karl?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome to hear. And like you say, you know, having gone from like confidence 3 with no structure to now 10 out of 10 and where you're going, what does the future look like now? So, you know, any of the lads who are going to join, they'll be seeing you, because obviously I know that you're continuing in as we go forward. But what would your future look like now for you, buddy? Do you feel like there's a bright future ahead?
A hell of a lot more brighter than what it was back at the start of the year.
That's fucking awesome. That's absolutely awesome. And any of the lads, if they're kind of considering joining, would you mind if they contacted you as well as me? You know, just because I'm sure they want to have a chat with you guys. And they're gonna speak to you anyway, because fucking in the WhatsApp group with plenty of. I just chatted with Sean, and he was talking about a lot of the F1 stuff. Obviously, I probably can't go into that because fucking be too many people like. But mate, that's been brilliant. And as I say, like, dude, like, you know, you fucking smashed this. It's been awesome to see. But yeah, have you got any final points you want to say to anybody who's watched this, bud?
If you do plan on joining, smash it as hard as you can. That's one of my best pieces of advice.
Perfect, dude.
And nutrition, that's again key thing. 3 meals a day, it definitely works in the right direction.
I think it's all the little things, isn't it? It's like I don't tell you to, I'm not going to undo all your bad habits in a day. Like you say, it's always about like different structures. You know, obviously we've had like 3 lads join this month, and I said to them, I'm like, look, this ain't going to be a short-term thing. Like we need to rewire you mentally and physically. But mate, that's brilliant. Thank you so much, Karl. That's perfect. I'm going to stop recording there. But as I say, anyone who's watched this back and you're considering joining us, have a chat with the guys that you see, or have a chat with me. And obviously we'll actually talk through your problem and then see if we can actually help address that, and it's going to benefit you. But yeah, cheers, dude. I'll stop the recording there.